Accessing your desktop remotely through RDP or VNC. That's our topic today. We will start with why do we need the RDP, the benefits and the drawbacks of the RDP, how the RDP works, and also why do we need the VNC as another protocol and the benefits of the VNC. So let's begin. If you wish to access your desktop or laptop from any location, far or close, anywhere in the globe, there is a method to control a computer remotely using another computer, even from a mobile device. But the question is, which actually application it will be better for me to use? Well, for Windows users, there is actually a built-in solution. It's called the Remote Desktop Connection, RDP. So what are the benefits and the drawbacks of the RDP? The benefits that it's high level of control. You can manage all of your applications as exactly you're sitting in front of your computer. You also can transfer files between PCs. Very easy. It doesn't require actually any additional software to set up. It's actually built in. But nothing has all of the advantages. There is some drawbacks of the RDP, such as you can only connect from a Windows machine to a Windows machine using this software. That's a drawback for sure. It becomes a little more difficult also when you're outside your network. It becomes a little bit a pain because you have to ask the network admin or the network engineer to open some ports on your router or your firewall to connect back to your machine at work. So how the RDP works? 3 steps to accomplish a successful RDP connection. First, when you initiate a remote desktop connection on your local computer to connect to another remote host, this remote host, it can be your computer at home or your computer at work, it doesn't matter, or your server, even at work. First, it sends a request on port 3389 to gain a permission for the connection. Then, the remote host, which is your computer at home or your computer or server at work, it will come back to you with a request, hey, please give me the credential for this machine. And it will verify it against all of the list of the users on the remote host. Once you log in, the display of the remote host will be available in addition of full control of the keyboard and mouse. So basically, once you log in, you'll have a full control of the machine as exactly you're sitting in front of it. So let's actually see an example. So let's say that you are the client PC, so you work in New York City in the state of New York, and you travel for a vacation or for whatever reason to California. You took your laptop with you, but your boss called you and told you, I need you to check on this or check on that. So you had actually to log into your machine in New York City. You're not going to travel back, but you can remotely log into it and you check it out as your boss told you. This is a remote host in New York City and you are here in California. So you're going to open your machine and you're going to open remote desktop connection RDP and it will send a connection request on port 3389. Then the computer or the server in New York City will come back to you and it will tell you, could you please provide your credential? So you will enter it. And once you enter it and verify it, it will give you the connection. At that time, you'll have a full control of the screen of the remote host, the keyboard, and the mouse as well. And this is an example of how it looks like when you put your IP address of the remote host, remote desktop connection. So what is the VNC? Why do even we need it if we have RDP? So VNC stands for Virtual Network Computing. It's a system for sharing desktops that enables you to control another computer remotely. Seems like the RDP so far. The way VNC operates is by sending your keyboard and mouse actions from your lightweight client computer to a large remote server computer. A VNC system is specific to a platform it's used. What does that mean? The RDP, for example, used for only PCs, for Windows machine. However, the VNC can work for all kind of a platform. Each one has a kind of a client for itself. You have a client for Linux, you have a client for Windows, you have a client for Unix, you have a client for Mac. It's multi-purpose. There are various clients and servers designed for different GUI system. Additionally, there is a VNC available even for Java. Certain VNC programs are exclusively compatible with some Windows machine, but again, if you are on a Windows machine, it's better for you to use RDP. The VNC is going to come handy, but it's not going to be effective as RDP if you are using a Windows machine to another Windows machine. VNC are widely used to serve both businesses and the personal purposes. I actually used it personally for work purposes or for personal use. So for example, again, if you travel to California and you are in New York City, and you're required to log into a Linux server. So you have a VNC viewer, which is a client, and you want to log into the VNC server, which is actually your server for work, but you're running a VNC server on top of it. You initiate a connection, and once you gain it, you will have a full control of the screen, the keyboard, and the mouse. And this is how it looks like the VNC. You put the IP address, and voila, hit connect, and you put the credential, and you will be able to get in. And you don't have to travel back to New York and interrupt your vacation. So what are the benefits of the VNC so far? VNC can help you with the remote technical support. This means sometimes some people have problems and the technical support can remotely log into it and fix it for them. It's also used for people who want to help friends and relatives with computer issues. Sometimes, it enables individuals to access files on a specific computers remotely. VNC can also be effective when it's used by people who need access to work files from their office computer. Also, it's great for people who happen to forget sometimes to bring the presentation to work, so they can use VNC to connect it to their home computer or a remote host in order to retrieve any files. This type of program is actually often used by system administrators and system engineers, and it supports, of course, help desks. It's used by the administrators to take full control of the employee's computer, especially when they do an upgrade to your PC, even after work hours. And lastly, actually in the classroom, sometimes as a professor, I would like actually to see what exactly you're doing in your computer for a task I have given to you. So not only that I can control your machine, no, I can just observe. So we have covered the very interesting topics today. We went through the RDP, why do we need it, the benefits and the drawbacks of the RDP, how the RDP works, and also we identify why do we need the VNC as an alternative protocol to RDP and the benefits of the VNC. Thank you very much for your time.